Hey guys, Jessica here. I really appreciate you speaking with me this morning and accepting this free video. I am super excited that you did because I'm going to walk you through a few strategies you can start applying right away, and it's going to make a huge impact in your business. And I know that it will because we've worked with over 50 other restoration companies just like you applying these same strategies, and it's made a huge difference. Okay, so right now, you guys are doing fairly well in the Bakersfield area. So not too bad. Definitely have a couple areas that could improve in Bakersfield, but you're missing the boat on the rest of the service area. So there's still a ton of traffic that you guys are missing out on. So when it comes to ranking on Google, content is key. And Google over the last 18 months have done a ton of changes on their preferences and how they're going to rank websites. Making sure everything is mobile friendly and people first. Before, everything was content written for algorithms, and now the content needs to be written for the people in a way that algorithms want them to be. Okay. And so that means super easy navigation, putting your navigation in the order of importance. So your water damage services, I would put before and about section. Google wants you to have separate pages for all your major services. And it does look like you have that, which is good. These pages allow you to devote an entire page based around a certain topic and showcase yourself as an expert. So Google's gone to an 𝑗𝑗 requirement, which is showcasing your expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trust. Okay, so all of your content needs to be based around that 𝑗𝑗. And so that means you want these pages to be really helpful information, not just generic niche information, but really explaining how water intrusion happens, what to do when you're faced with water damage, what your team does, what your process is, what type of equipment you're going to use, etc. And that's really going to help showcase you guys as the experts in this area. Okay. And then hyper focusing on those local keywords. Since you're basing everything on Bakersfield, your homepage and service pages would be Bakersfield keywords. 90% of people, when they search, they don't search by a brand name because they don't know who you are, so they do search by those keywords. And you do have a few keywords indexed, which is good. Let's see. These are interlinking, so that's good. We don't really have a whole lot of content here, though, especially the written content. So your homepage is the most critical page of the entire website. It really ties everything else together, and it needs at least 1,500 words of content or more. Especially when you're competing in this highly competitive niche, and you're serving just more than one location. Okay, you're servicing at least an entire county, multiple areas. And so you really need to have your content dialed in. So you need at least 1,500 words or more. If your competition has 1,500 words, you will need more than they have. Okay. Whenever we're competing against our competition, we always have to do better. So that's more pages, more content, better quality content, more blog articles, etc. Okay. Google is also proximity based, so having those service area pages that you have is really important. However, they are all very generic, and there's really not a whole lot of information. You're also doing this near you thing. So we never want to go after near you or near me, because those are actual national terms. That's wherever that person is that is searching, okay? So using those terms aren't going to help you. You will actually automatically show up when people use those terms if you're ranking for instance, water damage restoration in your area. Okay, you'll automatically come up for this, so we don't actually target it. But every single one of your service area pages, with the exception of your main location page here in Bakersfield, which is your homepage, all your other service area pages have the exact same image, the exact same content. The only thing that's getting swapped out is this, okay? That is all duplicate content, which is a huge factor with why these pages are not indexing those keywords, but also the fact that you don't have any content, you don't have any keyword structure, and so you really need content based around the local keywords for this area. These need to be hyper local to that area, so that you're actually showing up in each of these areas that you have service pages for, okay? So content and keyword strategy are going to be absolutely critical, because Google's sending crawlers to your website, and they go and index all of your images, text, videos, etc. Okay, and they're trying to find out as much information as possible about your business, who you are, what services you offer, and where you offer those services. And so if you don't have enough of that information, there's not enough content, there's not a keyword strategy on those pages, it's impossible for Google to send people to your site. Okay, now your top organic competitor in Bakersfield is Alert Disaster Restoration. And in some areas, you guys are pretty neck and neck, okay? They do also have a good website. They also have the click-to-call phone numbers. They have separate pages for the major services. Just the basic pages. They don't they don't have any real detailed pages, but they do have the pages. Let's see, what do they have for content? Okay. I like that they're using original and photos of their team, not just all stock images. Looks like they have some videos. Videos are also helpful on your site. They have blog articles, a couple FAQs, but not a whole lot of content on this main page. These guys are definitely beatable. But you just have to do better. More quality content, more content on the pages, more dialed in keyword strategy, okay? Now we know when your customers do a search, they're going to do a search similar to this. And when they do, there's 3 main areas your website can show up in the top positions for. And generally the first are going to be ads. Those are cost per click ads and local service ads like these. And these can be extremely profitable as long as you have your processes dialed in, and you're not sending people to your main website page, but you have designated landing pages for those cost per click ads, so they have a good chance of converting, okay? Without that, the conversions are pretty low, and you're going to have a lower ROI. The second section here is even more critical, because this section here, the map pack, or Google Business Profile, okay? This gets 30% of the traffic when people search. 30% of people come straight here and don't go anywhere else. So when you're not in the top 3 for a related search for your services in your service area, you're leaving 30% of that revenue on the table. And so for this specific search, I am seeing you right here, so that is good. But we want to make sure that you're in the top 3 across your services and service area. So if you're not, you do need to further optimize this profile. and go and get more citations. That's simply listing the name of the business, address, phone number, and website, and placing those in a bunch of directories like Yellow Pages, Yelp, Better Business Bureau, Glassdoor, Angie's, House, etc. Okay, so having more of those definitely helps give you a good boost in the maps. And then this third section here is your organic section. Okay. This is the most important section because 60 to 70% of people come straight here and don't go anywhere else. So when your website doesn't show up here in the organic section, you're losing out on 60 to 70% of those jobs every single month. Now, for this specific search, you are on the first page. Like I said, you and Alert are pretty neck and neck in a couple areas. And so here, the important thing to understand is the higher you rank here, the more of the traffic for that search term. So, the highest positions can get over 30% of a search. So if there's 100 searches for this one keyword, this one is ranked here, could get 30 of them, and the lower you rank down here, the lower of that traffic you're going to get. Okay, so even when you hit the first page, you want to keep working those keywords to get as close to the top as possible to capitalize on as much of that traffic. Now, for the service areas you're not showing up in, showing up in this spot comes back down to the foundation of this site, making sure that your service area pages and service pages are optimized with the right type of content and keyword strategy, and that you are supporting it with an SEO backlink strategy. Now, this is Ahrefs, a paid tool we use to analyze how your website is performing, and it does look like you may have some SEO going on. It does look like over the last few months, you've been getting more backlinks, more referring domains. So that tells me you probably do have some type of SEO going on. But your overall score of your website is a 3 out of 100 in Google's trust flow. So Google doesn't really trust your website, and that has to do with the power you send to it. Like most tools, your website is a tool. It's a very important tool, but it requires power. And so to power a website, we use backlinks, which are simply links coming from another website to your website and pushing the power from their site to your site. But it's important to understand that not all backlinks are created equal. We only want good do-follow links that are closely related to the services and business that you have. So most of the time, these are going to be coming from other home service businesses, vendors, and related directories, okay? So we need more backlinks than our competition, but only going after the good ones, okay? So the fact that you have a score of a 3 with over 200 backlinks tells me you have quite a bit of spammy backlinks that are doing more harm than good, okay? But as you go out and get more of the good quality links, this score is going to increase. Google's going to trust your website more, and it's going to promote you more and really help you with those keywords, getting those ranked, okay? You have been indexed for 21 keywords, and you are getting over 100 people to your website, which isn't too bad. But you are missing out on quite a bit of traffic because you're not indexing for a lot of keywords in the Bakersfield area, as well as your other service areas. But you are on the first page for a handful of keywords. And so you're getting good traffic. So you're in the top for water damage Bakersfield. Out of 90 searches, you got 33 this month. Okay, so that's really good. So you are doing good in several areas. We just need to enhance that, okay? If we look at your competition, they're getting twice as much traffic. They got similar scores. They got more keywords. And all of this traffic is coming from Bakersfield. They just have more of those keywords. They have more variety of the keywords. People search differently, so you really want to capitalize on that. But these guys are definitely beatable when you apply all of these strategies. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. If you need help applying these strategies, this is our specialty. Please feel free to give us a call or reply to our email, and we'd be happy to chat. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.